Phillipsburg High School, where tonight's Service Electric TV2 Sports brings you inside the Skyland Conference in a battle of two unbeatens. The host Stateliners, who come in at 11-0, take on the rivals to the east, the Hunterdon Central Red Devils, who come in at 14-0. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome inside Phillipsburg High School. Along with Scott Hovan, I am Doug Heater. A big matchup, in fact, the biggest matchup of the night in the state of New Jersey between these two teams. Now, Scott, obviously no divisional importance, no conference importance, but for both of these teams hoping to get into the postseason for sure, this is a big match. Now, we'll start tonight's duel at 132 pounds, and maybe one weight a little bit higher than Phillipsburg would have liked to have started. And for both of these teams, when you look at this matchup, you're going to see that there's going to be a lot of flexibility and a lot of moving, especially for a Stateliner team that may start out of the gate at that first weight of 132 with one of their big guns in Travis Jones.
Yeah, I don't know if this is exactly where they wanted to start off here, because we talked about this early. Do you want to start off with Jones or do you want to finish with Jones? So that's going to be a big decision that we will not know until match time.
Jones and Bryce Parenti both weighed in at 126 at 138 for Hunterdon Central. Romanello against most likely Kyle Tino. Luke Harden will be that 145 for Phillipsburg against Vizzoni. Romanello against either Harrison or Abode. Both of those guys for Peaburg weighing in at 152. The other will go up. Potentially David Pearson at 170 against maybe Dan Formato. Vincent Brito weighed in at 160 as well, so he may go up to 170. And we talked about juggling. Central's got to move up at some point to take away the vacancy at 220, so we'll just see where that may be, and it may start at 160 pounds.
Yeah, and this could play, I'm not sure how this is going to play out, because Phillipsburg might have to juggle at some point as well, and that could be what determines the end result in this dual meet today.
And going up to 182, Barrett against either Roth or Wicks. Horvath and probably Donahue, and then Joyce and Crutzen will end at 106, 113, 120, and 126. The Liners still feel they have home mat advantage despite not wrestling this dual meet in the pit. However, Hunterdon Central at home beat this Liners team a year ago. Hunterdon Central Phillipsburg wrestling from the Skyland Conference up next on TV2 Sports. We are back here at Phillipsburg High School. Doug Heater along with Scott Hovan, moments away from this one getting underway. The biggest match in the state of New Jersey. If you go by rankings in the state, Central comes in at number 5 and Phillipsburg at number 7. Both teams in good position to be a number 1 seed in the upcoming sectional tournament, which is the week after the Super Bowl. So I mentioned Hunterdon Central winning a year ago. There is their head coach, and John Cantagallo-Ram, his 5th season here as the leader of the Red Devils, 94-17, and he won the dual meet a year ago in Flemington, 38-21. The Liners had won 4 consecutive, dating back from the years 2017 to 2014, and he is just the 3rd head coach in the history of Hunterdon Central wrestling after Steve Gibble. He took over for Gibble back in 2014, and the legendary Russ Regal coached his team from 1956 to the year 1991. There's Dave Post, the head coach of the Phillipsburg Stateliners, now in his 9th season, and they have won 5 consecutive Group 4 state championships, including a win last year against Long Branch, and he comes in with a career record at Peaburg at 141-21. Now, talking to head coach Dave Post, if they won the flip, they were going to take they were going to take odds so that they would be able to control the even bouts. We'll have to see how that plays out. And Scott, as always in a tight dual meet, and we expect one tonight, the coin flip is always huge.
When you get matchups this tight, it can make the difference in the final score. So we've seen that happen a lot of times over the years in District 11 and the Lehigh Valley matches.
So we're set to get underway at 132 pounds. So we start at 132. As expected for Hunterdon Central, it'll be Tanner Peak, the freshman, 19-4, and Bryce Parenti, the senior for Phillipsburg, who again weighed in with Travis Jones at 126. So Parenti's a senior. He is 17-9, 2-1 a year ago, career record 19-10. Tanner Peak is a freshman for Hunterdon Central, starting off this dual meet with a record coming into tonight at 19-4. So the Liners, Scott, will end up saving Travis Jones, one of their two returning state medalists, for the final bout at 126, taking on Jack Bauer. And it'll be interesting coming down the road what the circumstances are going to be for those two.
I mean, you certainly like to finish off your dual meet that way with one of your best wrestlers. This is going to be a critical matchup right here. Whoever wins this bout is going to have the momentum going early in this match. Right now, he almost got a takedown on the edge. Parenti kind of controlling the ties. It looks like Peak here got a near side cradle locked up. He's got two, and he might have Parenti in trouble here, Doug.
Well, 30 seconds to work with in this first period, and as always, bonus points in a dual meet like this will be crucial for the Liners. Let's see if he can at least convert here for Hunterdon Central, at least convert some back points out of this, and I think Parenti's going to escape without giving up anything but the takedown.
Yeah, good fight there, way to find the edge. I thought maybe Peak might take Parenti back the other way as he was fighting it and sort of standing up, but he did a great job of only giving up two there. So it's Peak, the freshman, with the opening takedown. Parenti up on his feet here.
So no change, just a 2-point takedown for the Hunterdon Central freshman to take a 2-0 lead. Here it is in that opening period.
You can see spins behind here, keeps the chin, locks it up, hooks the leg, gets a cradle. I thought for a moment there he might take him back the other way. So we're going to start with Parenti in the top position here. Boots the leg in from his feet, gets a little bit out of balance, and a reversal here for Peak.
Peak with a 4-0 lead. We'll see if he's going to be able to maybe work a little bit closer to a possible bonus point to start things off in this duel. He is just a freshman for Hunterdon Central. Both of these teams coming into tonight undefeated. The Red Devils at 14-0 and the Liners at 11-0.
Nice sit-out switch attempt there by Peak. Parenti does a nice job of bringing him back to the mat flat. And nothing flashy so far, Doug, in this match.
No.
Just real solid fundamentals. You see Parenti here on top in good position. I'm sorry, Peak on top of Parenti in good position. He's got the arm up on the back here. He's trying to feed possibly the arm across and maybe come around and grab that far wrist and maybe run a half. Oh, he's going to boot the leg in there on the other side. He tried.
With no change, still a 4-0 lead. Peak in control. They'll restart 26.7 to go, second period. This is bout number one, 132 pounds.
We got a nice student section tonight over in the Phillipsburg side. And here we go. They've kind of been pretty quiet so far. And Parenti almost with a reversal, but Peak does a nice job of hanging in there, riding really tough on top.
So a 4-0 lead. I felt there was about 8 weights tonight that could go either way. And this was one of them. And this is the matchup that you anticipated too, despite both Parenti and Jones weighing down a weight class. And of course, here in New Jersey tonight with Hunterdon Central and Phillipsburg both wrestling last night, they get 2 pounds plus the earlier 2, so you're 4 full above your previous weight. So these guys were able to get up a little bit here.
And I'll get to that a second. Parenti he sat out, turned in, almost sat out and turned in right into a cement job. Did a nice job of bailing out of that there. It's 4-1 with the 1-point escape for Parenti. He needs a takedown here to get back in this match. When you're at the end of a dual meet and you need bonus points, oftentimes the advantage is with the other team. They could stall, they could wrestle not to lose or not to win, and just wrestle smart. But if you are going to put somebody out there in the last bout that is capable, I mean, with Jones, you can't have much more confidence in another guy than a guy like Jones to put out there last.
State 7th a year ago. That'll be the final bout. And Jack Bauer, his opponent, 400 in Central's, a 3-time state qualifier and a senior with over 100 wins. But right now, first bout, here's 132 between Peak, the freshman, for 100 in Central, and Parenti, the senior, for Phillipsburg. And Peak in control may score again to seal this, and he will do just that with his second takedown. It's going to make it 6-1 in favor of 100 in Central.
I'm really impressed with Peak. His ability on his feet to tie up his opponent the whole time. It really, Parenti hasn't been able to really pop off a nice open shot at all once today on Peak, because Peak keeps controlling the ties very well. And for a freshman, that's pretty impressive.
Hunterdon Central is going to come away with a victory in this first bout. 3.1 to go. It's a 6-1 lead for Peak. And that will be your finals. So a 3-0 lead for the Red Devils. So second bout's 138. Anthony Romanello here, the junior, 400 in Central. He's 14-7. And Kyle Tino, the senior, here for Phillipsburg at 17-8. Tino and Luke Harden both weighed in at this weight class, and Harden will go up next to 145.
Tino right in on a nice shot, converts that to a takedown right on the edge. That's what Phillipsburg needed after that last match, to get right after it here. Get that student section fired up over there and get them loud and get them vocal.
Romanello, the escape. Anthony Romanello. Vincent will go up a little bit later at 152, but Anthony is a junior, 14-7, was 22-13 last year for Central District 2, 21-10 as a freshman District 3. Career record comes into tonight at 57-30, and Tino a second takedown. They go up 4-1. So Tino went 25-11 last year. He was a state qualifier for the Liners, District 1, Region 2. 15-17 as a sophomore district runner-up, and 12-20 as a freshman. Kyle Tino, career record of 69-56.
Tino with another takedown there, making it 4-1. And he lifted him into the air and had a Turk right on the edge of the mat, but ran out of mat space. Nice bottom wrestling here by Romanello. But Tino does a nice job of following the hips here.
He'll stalemate it, and Tino maintains that control from the top position, up 3.
Tino looks big here at 138 pounds. And he's showing some of that explosiveness on his feet with those quick leg attacks that he's been getting to.
Kyle Tino weighing in at 141.7. Again, they're getting what would ultimately be a 4 full pounds above each weight class with each team wrestling last night. And already they got the 2-pound allowance for wrestling last night, and they had already gotten the 2 pounds in December. 4-1 lead for Kyle Tino after 1. Both teams in action last night. Easy wins, relatively easy wins in dual meet. Dual meets. Phillipsburg on the road went to Ridge and beat them 51-18. Hunterdon Central also competing last night in a big matchup against Hanover Park, winning that one 42-22.
Both teams wrestling last night. Neither of them have an edge here. Got a 1-point escape here for Romanello. Tino needs to stay on that offensive leg attack. He's gotten in twice on 2 shots, converted to finishes within 5 seconds of attacking the leg. That's great success, and he needs to stay on that the rest of this match. Phillipsburg should be trying to maybe look for a major decision here if they can stay on the attack. Romanello trying to go up top a little bit here. It's actually been a good strategy for him the last 30 seconds to slow down Tino a little bit. Nice slide by attempt. Good action here by Romanello trying to get back into this match. He's only down a takedown. You sort of see a change in the momentum here and the aggressiveness here with Romanello really being the attacker here.
And Romanello, the taller of the two, you wonder if maybe he can't use that upper body a little bit, try to control the ties, maybe straighten Tino out. And then it looks like he's been trying to reach in with that, like an inside leg trip for a potential takedown.
Yeah, it's been working for him. He's been able to slow him down. Looks like we might have a little blood time here. But you're exactly right, Doug. And it actually seems to be kind of wearing him down and frustrating him a little bit mentally because we haven't even seen a leg attack yet.
So the blood time is for Tino. He has a 4-1, 4-2 lead in the second period.
This might not be a bad timeout for Tino. It would not surprise me with about 16 seconds remaining in the period for him to look for a quick leg attack here and maybe score before the end of the second period.
Little cleanup needed both on Tino, the wrestler, and the mat.
So this will be an interesting decision here. So Tino's going to take bottom in the third period. Let's see what Romanello can do on top here. He's able to get nice lift. Nice mat return there by Romanello on top.
So injury time now by Tino. There was no slam called or anything at all. So Tino came down hard, might have been on that left arm or shoulder. So he's taking injury time. Let's take a look at this finish again.
And that's just a beautiful textbook finish there. Came down on a nice tight waist. Beautiful, nothing wrong with that at all.
Well, they're working on the left shoulder. Tino used that left arm to brace himself as they were coming back to the mat.
You can tell he's definitely feeling that. What a great lift, though. I'll tell you what, that makes you think twice about coming up off the bottom again. And with mat returns like that, it really slows your opponent down on bottom. I'm guessing Roman Aiello here is, oh, good escape there. That was a really important escape.
Tino's one-pointer gives him a 3-point lead. He scored the only takedowns, 2 of them in the opening period of this bout.
That was the first time Roman Aiello got onto that leg just a little bit in this match. I know he's been going up top a lot, but I think for him to score a takedown, he's going to need to score this with a leg attack. Change levels, penetrate. Oh, he really forced that throw there and put himself in bad position. Tino did a nice job of just countering and picking up an easy takedown.
In position now to potentially ride out this period. He's got a 7-2 lead. Maybe a turn away from trying to get some bonus points for the Liners. They're down 3-0. This is bout number 2.
He's got that arm bar in there in the far wrist, but Roman Aiello came up to his base. Now he's on his feet. Got a little reach back here, overhook, and a 1-point escape, making it 7-3. Wouldn't be surprised for Roman Aiello to look for something big here.
He tried upper body. That did not work on that last attempt. Tino took advantage of it.
Got to be careful. You certainly would love to get a 4-point, 5-point move here, but you do not want to give up a 4-point move and give the major decision to the State Liners. Good counter by Tino here. He's going to stay out front here, play it smart, not force anything.
15 seconds.
Tino, the senior, looks like he's going to even the duel with 3 apiece. Doesn't score the takedown, but ends up winning it 7-3. But after 2, they're tied at 3. And we'll go to 145. So Pasquale Vizzoni is here for Hunterdon Central, and we expect to see Luke Harden, and he will come out for the Liners. So Pasquale Vizzoni is a senior, he's 12-1, and Luke Harden is a senior for Phillipsburg, he is 7-12. Vizzoni scores a takedown, the 3rd for the Devils tonight. 25-8 was Vizzoni a year ago, district 1st, region 3rd. He was a state qualifier. 9-6 as a sophomore, 8-3 as a freshman. Career record of 54-18 coming into tonight. Harden, a senior, 7-12, was 2-6 last year, 1-0 as a sophomore, and a career record coming into tonight of 10-18.
So Pizzoni really working hard on top here. He finally decides to cut him here and maybe start going the takedown game, try to get some points on the board. Doug, what a great atmosphere coming to Phillipsburg. I love coming here to announce matches. It's a great environment, one of the best student sections around. I mean, if I were coaching in the Lehigh Valley, I would have P-Bird on my schedule, and I wouldn't even mind coming here every single year.
Boy, a throw attempt by Vizzoni. He got the takedown, but no back points. It doesn't have the feeling of the old pit. And
no.
Phillipsburg does wrestle a duel there every year. Del Val last year, Kittatinny this year, but still a great turnout for what is the best duel meet of the night in the state of New Jersey with these two undefeated teams.
I mean, we're not too far off of max capacity here.
Yeah.
There are some spots here and there, but this is a great crowd tonight. And Doug, this is only going to get better as we go further and further into this dual meet. Pizzoni working a 2-on-1 here, trying to bring the wrist out to the side.
Takes a 4-1 lead. There's that second takedown.
Just sort of throws him by, a nice little, almost like a pancake, and almost catches him on his back. Hunterdon does a nice job of not giving up more than just a takedown.
So Vizzoni, the escape, he goes up 5-1. A 12-1 record for Pasquale Vizzoni, the senior.
Pizzoni, nice sprawl there, gets his hips away, head under, comes around the back there. He's just got to bring him to the mat, get supporting points down. He got under the inside arm there. He's going to give him the 2. Make it 7-1 now, and you can tell he's really just going to keep wrestling this on his feet here so he doesn't waste time riding. Nice counter shot by Hunterdon.
Well, Vizzoni's only loss coming back in the Hunterdon Central Invitational right before the end of the year. He placed second in this weight class at 145. Central competing in their own invitational, and as all the teams do in Hunterdon, Warren, and Sussex County, competing in the Hunterdon, Warren, Sussex County tournament. And a takedown for Vizzoni makes it 9-2.
This was well played here. He's going to put himself in a position to secure the major decision. Once you have that secured, that's the best time now to start looking for a fall. So smart wrestling by Vizzoni. Hunterdon chooses down for the third period. Vizzoni on top. Looks like he's maybe going to try to look for a turn here.
He had taken a peek over to the central bench and said, do you want me to cut him free? They said, ride him out a little bit. So I imagine here he might try to work, maybe give himself a little bit more than a minute to work with if he can't turn and get some points. Because right now it's a 7-point advantage, a stalling warning on Hunterdon. That's the first one we've seen tonight. He wants to look for a major decision.
I think I would probably do it on his feet. What you don't want to do is have to rely on one takedown and then ride him out the rest of the match, because a 1-point escape or 2 stall calls and tops burns the major. Get the major. Right now, Hunterdon is not going to get turned on top. And I probably will say that, and he'll probably go to his back, but he's been fighting pretty hard here. Wow. Vizzoni is going hard after it.
They stopped it for potentially dangerous. So now I think he's going to cut him free, and they're going to work on their feet. Yeah, he's going to show diamond on the back.
And this is a smart decision here.
All right, so 9-3, a 6-point lead, just one takedown gives Vizzoni the major decision.
Now Hunterdon's got a stall call right now with the 2-point takedown, Doug. That makes it 11-3. He's got the major decision. Hunterdon's got to really wrestle tough here and try to get out on bottom. Not an easy task. And Vizzoni's got to be careful here. He's riding parallel. He's susceptible to getting hit for stalling himself on the top position there.
Closing seconds of the final period. Right now it's a major decision. And they'll stop it again for potentially dangerous.
No, that was absolutely the right call. He was driving underneath that elbow. That's putting tremendous pressure on the shoulder.
So Vizzoni will hold on and win at 11-3 for the major decision. A 7-3 lead for Hunterdon Central after 3 bouts. We moved to 142. I'm sorry, 152. I invented a new weight class. 2 weighed in here for Phillipsburg, both Cody Harrison and Thomas Abode. So Cody Harrison here for Phillipsburg. They're going to forfeit to Harrison. We'll go to 160. So I think this is Vinny Romanello for, it is. So we go to 160. Vincent Romanello here for the Red Devils. He's a senior, 18-4, and Thomas Abode, the senior for Phillipsburg, at 13-9. So we knew that at some point, Hunterdon Central's got to move their lineup up with a relatively vacant spot at 220. So they decided to do it here by forfeiting to Cody Harrison. Harrison State, 2-time state medalist for the Liners, 4th and 8th the last couple of years. And the fans disappointed he was 18-1. They would have liked to have seen him wrestle, especially against Romanello. But Central trying to win the duel, so they elected to move Vincent Romanello up to 160. So it's 9-7 in favor of the Liners. Now, of course, with this move, if you're Hunterdon Central, you anticipate Romanello knocking off Abode. And this could be an opportunity for Phillipsburg and Abode, who's a modest 13-9 record, to be the early hero in this duel as we're scoreless in the opening period.
Wow, good scramble here. And it's going to be Romanello coming out on top with the 2-point takedown. Doug, if you're going to forfeit to somebody, you're going to forfeit to Harrison. And that's probably the best call. And like you said, the fans really want to see this matchup with Harrison, but this dual meet, 7th and 5th in the state, you've got to do what you got to do to win this dual meet.
So Central has bumped up Romanello to 160. He's a senior, 18-4. State qualifier last year, going 33-8, district and region runner-up. 30-8 as a sophomore, district champ, and 27-11 district runner-up as a freshman. 27-11 record. He is going into tonight with a career record of 108 and 31. And Vincent Romanello with a 2-1 lead after the opening period. Meanwhile, Abode's a senior, 13-9. He was 3-6 a year ago and 0-3 as a sophomore. Career record of 16-15. He's hanging in here. He'll go top in this second period, down a point.
Wow, beautiful lift to the mat. Another nice mat return. And you'd have to say Abode's coming out here and doing his job against a guy with over 100 wins in his career, who just picked up his first escape for the match, taking a 3-1 lead here. So if he could, fight hard and keep this into a regular decision, that I consider that a win for Peeberg. If he could pull off the upset, that would be huge. Both guys really trying to hand fight here, keeping a good distance, staying in good position. neither of them really able to clear the ties. Looks like Romanella's trying to do maybe a little elbow pass there.
Stalling warning on Abode for backing up. Romanella takes immediate advantage of that and secures his second takedown.
Yeah, nice takedown, and he tried to get the turn there. He almost had a Turk. It would have benefited him to have that Turk leg and maybe throw a half in on the near side, but Abode did a nice job of giving up 2 and not more than that.
Five-1 lead for Romanello heading into the third. They'll bow the escape. He's down 5-2.
Abode has 1 stall call against him. Without another stall call, he's going to need about 3 takedowns here to get the major decision. 2 if he presses the action and can get a stall call against Abode. There he's in on that double again.
Secures a takedown. 7-2. He's up 5. Cut him free.
He might need 4 takedowns, Doug, unless he gets a press for a stall call here. Abode doing a nice job, though, coming out, wrestling smart, not giving up any bad points here.
You wonder in the grand scheme if Central was looking for a potential bonus point here from their senior. If not, this is a big win in a sense for Phillipsburg at this time, holding it to or minimizing it to just a regular decision loss.
Well, and the way Romanello came out and got that opening takedown so fast, at that point you're thinking, wow, there's a possibility for bonus points, but Abode really kind of slowed him down a little bit, started controlling the ties like he is here, and just wrestled a smart match.
Vincent Romanello will hold on and win for Hunterdon Central. 7-3 is going to be your final. Making it 10-9 in favor of Central. As we've wrestled 5 bouts, we'll go to 170. Forfeit win for the Liners, their bonus points. A major decision victory for Hunterdon Central, their bonus.
So third lead change here in a row. We'll see what happens coming out here at
So at 170, Dan Formato is here for Hunterdon Central. He's a senior 7-9, and David Pearson here for Peaburg, a freshman 11-10.
And Pearson right in on an opening leg attack there. Takedown hasn't been awarded yet, but there he got the supporting points down with the hand. And he's got legs booted in here, and he almost had Furman in trouble right there.
So Formato's a senior 7-9 for Hunterdon Central, 26-12 a year ago. District runner-up, 18-17, district third as a sophomore, and 6-9 as a freshman. He has a 57-47 career mark coming in against the freshman David Pearson for Phillipsburg, who was 11-10 Pearson with a big win already this season in a dual meet for the Liners. So this is one of those guys you look at, oh, it's a freshman wrestling upper weight. He's 11-10. We can win here. No. I mean, Pearson coming out and wrestling well to start this duel in the first 55 seconds.
Well, and the other thing is, you know, Pearson's demonstrated that he's very good on top with legs. And you see that big shoulder strap on Furman on the bottom. I wonder if there's a slight injury there, and you do not want to have a shoulder injury against the leg guy that's going to be power halving you. Now Pearson is putting most of that pressure on the left side of Furman underneath there.
Under 40 to go opening period. It's a 2-0 lead. They'll stalemate it and restart in the middle at 35.7. 10-9 in favor of Hunterdon Central through the first 5.
Furman, nice job with the escape. Oh. Pearson shoots in real low, but he was in bad position, and Furman takes advantage of that and scores on a pretty easy spin behind there to take the lead now, 3-2. Oh, and he's got a tilt set up here. Nice roll through by Pearson.
Big end of the period for Formato to score those 3 points to go up 3-2 after Pearson controlled a good portion of that opening period. Formato may have found some blood, and he has. So some blood time for the Hunterdon Central senior. So we'll see what Hunterdon Central does from here on out. Vincent Brito was weighed in at 160, so he was not available after this weight class. And the Liners have an opening, so to speak, at 220 with Salvatore Brito, who's a sophomore, is only wrestled 2 bouts. So we expect to see Kyle Barrett, Brandon Donahue, and then potentially we'll wait and see at 220. Whereas the State Liners at the next weight of 182 have both Austin Roth and Jacob Wicks available at that same weight. So we'll see what Dave Post elects to do with who he sends out at 182.
So we're back to the action here in the start of the second period. Pearson on top, Furman on bottom. Furman with the lead, 3-2. He's going to open up that lead now, 4-2 with the 1-point escape. The crowd is really starting to warm up a little bit in here. You can see him starting to get a little antsy. It's a tight bout. It's a tight dual meet score. Every point, every match, Doug, is critical tonight.
Well, Formato a takedown makes it 6-2.
Boy, I'll tell you, the way that Formato was getting ridden after that first takedown, I thought he was in trouble, and it's pretty impressive to see him coming back here 1 point at a time. Nothing fancy, just good fundamentals and solid wrestling.
And the difference, too, I think you're seeing is a senior taking over here in Formato. Pearson, the freshman, some emotion coming out, wrestling real well in the opening minute and 15 seconds, but now finds himself down 6-2, less than a minute to go in the second period. Central has a 1-point lead, 10-9. They've won 3 of the first 5.
And you're talking about a wrestler who's already has competed in over 100 matches. That's definitely playing an impact, that experience. So 6-2 here. You wonder, Furman's got to be thinking about a possible opportunity for more team points here.
Stalling warning on the Central senior.
The Hunterdon Central coach doesn't like that call, and there's part of me that doesn't blame that. He kind of was riding parallel, but he was also seemed to be trying to work that tilt there.
See if that changes up the strategy. Under 20 seconds to go middle period. And Formato maintains that top position. It will be Pearson's choice in the third. 6-2 after 2 in favor of Fermato. Pearson's going to go underneath again, so he needs an escape to get out of here and try to get a little bit closer. There is a stalling warning on Fermato in that middle period. That's the only one of the bout.
Fermato still going after that head lever, seeing maybe if he can wear him out eventually in the third and pick up a tilt.
Well, Pearson with the escape makes it 6-3.
Good reaction there by Fermato. He really anticipated that shot coming and converts that into a nice, easy spin behind here.
Makes it 8-3. He's still in control. Could look for a potential late turn. They'll cut Pearson free. Make it 8-4.
Give Pearson credit here. He's getting taken down off of his own offense, and he's continuing the wrestling. There you see Fermato picking up. Oh, he's going to get back points here, Doug, and that's going to give him the major decision in this bout.
They're telling him to stay right there, and he will. I don't know if he can get out of that spot himself. 13-4 on those 3 near fall awarded. Big late 5-point move for the Central senior gives them another major decision victory. And they're up 14-9. Through the first 6 bouts. Hunterdon Central has to present first here. This looks like it's going to be Kyle Barrett for the Devils.
182, the Red Devils, Kyle Barrett, the line Jacob Wicks.
And this will be Wicks for Phillipsburg. So Barrett's a senior, 15-5. Jacob Wicks, a junior, 15-8. First-year varsity wrestler for the Liners. Barrett was 14-15 a year ago. Comes in with a career record of 29-20. So Peaburg will run Austin Roth up to 195. So these two met in the Hunterdon Warren Sussex tournament. Wicks winner by fall in 4 minutes and 24 seconds over Barrett.
I was just about to say, the way these two have been going out after it, going up top, we might see another fall here tonight.
Midway point is this bout, number 7. It's a 14-9 Red Devils lead. They've won 4 of the first 6. 2 major decision wins for Hunterdon Central have given them that 5-point cushion.
Wicks really working that underhook. He's trying to come over the top here, bring Barrett down underneath him. Drops into nice, coming right off of that to a leg attack for a big guy. Nice takedown. That was a very good transition and a smart choice to go for the 2-point takedown and maybe instead of trying to force something big.
So Jacob Wicks, his dad Jamie, was a 2-time state champ at Delaware Valley. And for those that remember when Jamie wrestled in high school, he loved to put the legs in and use a power half. Let's see if his son has any of that in him, if that's been the MO in the Wicks household, continuing to work that power half from that top position.
It looks like he wants to put him in, but he's not going to force it.
Yep. Wicks trying to stay in control and will do that to ride out this period at 2-0 lead. It's interesting, when Jamie was a senior, he beat now Phillipsburg principal Greg Troxel in his sophomore year. So there's a little connection now. Troxel then, of course, went on to win 2 state titles for the Liners the next couple of seasons up at the heavyweight division. A little history here on the mat. So Wicks holds that lead. That was impressive at 2-0. This is a big bout for the Liners, especially. I imagine here with Roth going up to 195, they want to steal a couple, get a couple of wins here, and with with having that flexibility of weighing Wicks and Austin Roth both in at 182, hoping to get both a win here and at 195.
And you mentioned that, Doug. This match, this dual meet is like a chess match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Moving these guys around, and then you got to win those head-to-head contested bouts.
Well, Hunterdon Central decided to forfeit against Cody Harrison. Bumped Vincent Romanello up to 160, where he was able to get a big win of 7-3. And the Formato Major right now hinges, that's a big win for Central. And if they're able to hold on, that's going to be about, I'm sure they're going to circle, because he was able to score that 5-point move late to give himself the major and another bonus point.
And those 2 majors have only been the bonus points in this bout. I mean, we did have a forfeit, which is 6 points, but really wasn't a contested bout.
They started this period neutral, and that's where we're at.
And here's that same situation that he was in, drops to this, tries to drop in, and I'll tell you what, Barrett did a nice job initially defending that, and great job by Wicks making an adjustment there and picking up the takedown. He's been trying to work that little suck back there on top where he comes under both arms and brings him back. It looks like he wants to pull him into a crab ride and throw the legs in, but he hasn't done that yet. I think what he's been giving him is, because of the way that Barrett's been fighting it, he's been going flat, so he says, I'm going to take that on top.
So Wicks 2 takedowns, 4-0 lead. It's going to be Barrett's choice. He'll go neutral in the third. They don't want to go underneath Wicks in that period. See if Barrett can score a takedown. Wicks has scored both for the 4-0 lead.
I mean, if you're Phillipsburg, you've got to be happy, right, Doug, with the performance so far by Wicks.
Stalling warning on Barrett. The central bench, and here's Wicks back into that same spot where he's been able to score a couple of takedowns off of this.
I'll tell you what, he could actually, I don't know if I would do that in this match, but he could work on a nice inside trip off of that right to a pin. I wouldn't test it out here in this match, not with a 4-0 lead and 1 stall call against your opponent. You got a throw by there. He's got to watch a headlock here. Barrett kind of got an angle on him. Good foot movement there. Oh, nice recovery by Barrett. Just about to give up the spin behind. And there, Wicks goes back the opposite way. Picks up a 2-point takedown. 39 on the clock. Looking over at the Phillipsburg bench here, seeing if they're going to, seeing what they want to do here.
Always needs maybe a quick turn for a potential major decision victory. Run it at a time, 21 seconds to go in the final period. Stalling warning is going to give Wicks a point. Looks like Wicks is going to run out of time. Barrett's going to try to gain an escape. No change, and Wicks is going to win this one 7-0. A regular decision victory for the Liners, and at the halfway point through 7, Hunterdon Central leads by 2.
The Lehigh Valley's largest selection of new and certified pre-owned vehicles in one location is Rothrock. We have over 1,000 vehicles to choose from, an award-winning service team, ultra-modern facilities for comfort and convenience, and the best deals in the Valley. During the Start Something New sales event, get a Jeep Cherokee Limited 4x4 for only $199 a month. Or up to $4,000 off new 2018 Wranglers, only at Rothrock. Family owned for over 57 years. Rothrock, it's all for you on Route 22.
So back here at Phillipsburg High School, Austin Roth just receiving a forfeit at 195. So Austin Roth just receiving a forfeit for Phillipsburg at 195, makes it 18-14 in favor of the Liners. Now at 220, Brandon Donahue here for Hunterdon Central, the junior at 8-7, and Gage Horvath, the sophomore for Phillipsburg, at 11 and 12. So with Hunterdon Central not electing to use Vinny Brito at 160 or 170, they had to do something somewhere, so they forfeit to Roth. That Wicks win is huge, and the Liners have a 4-point lead, their largest of this dual meet. And this is bout number 9, 220. So
this is going to be a critical toss-up match here.
Well, yeah, because here's Donahue, who was first-year varsity wrestler, 8-7. He's a junior. Horvath's a sophomore, 11 and 12, and only wrestled 3 matches a year ago as a freshman, going 0-3. Hunterdon Central will be favored at 285 with Ryan Joyce, a senior, at 16-4, coming in after placing in the district tournament a year ago.
Both guys heavy on the head, what you expect to see in the upper weights here. Horvath really heavy on the head there. Both, I think they're trying to wear each other out here, see maybe who might be the best conditioned athlete heading into the third period.
No score, first scoreless opening period of this dual meet. Trying to look ahead, I don't know if either team right now, who's feeling more comfortable at this point?
I don't think either coach
is, Dave Post or John Cantagallo-Ram.
Do you really feel like either of them can afford to look ahead even at this point? This matchup is so critical. And you can almost tell the way they both wrestled in the first period, Doug, that they understand the importance of this match, that they don't want to give up any stupid points.
Yep, you're right. So the escape here given to Horvath, the first point scored. The Red Devils have Brett Unger, a state 6th place finisher a year ago, at 106. He's 20-0. You got to look. So for the next 2 weights, Central should be favored heading into it. Jim Day is a freshman for Phillipsburg, wrestling at 106. But you'll wonder if this is, urgency for Hunterdon Central too. They're down 4. They don't want to give another one away.
If there's a takedown in regulation here, I think it's going to be a leg attack attempt, head down, and both of these guys are so heavy on the head, I think they're going to be looking for spin behinds.
Like a half-shot mistake, potentially.
And capitalize on the guy that shoots first, snap him down, spin behind. I don't know that either one of these guys wants to commit to a leg attack.
Horvath's got the lead. He chose bottom to start this second period, and he earned the escape.
Boy, I'll tell you, with such a great student section and home crowd, Phillipsburg, they're silenced up there. You got to get that. You got to get those fans behind your wrestler, not just after they score a point, but getting them motivated in this match. Let them hear you.
A 1-0 lead for Horvath into the third. So Horvath weighed in right at 205. Donahue weighed in at 196 to make the 195. So giving up a little bit of weight, but not a big deal. 9 pounds shouldn't be much of a factor. And this is where it would be. And Donahue explodes quickly and gains the escape to tie it at 1.
A little bit different. The weight difference isn't that big, but the contrast in body styles. Look at the thighs and how big those legs are on Donahue. He's going to be harder to wear out because of that solid core, solid, built. And if he could keep pressing and get heavy on the head on Horvath, who's a taller wrestler, he's going to be able to wear him out. But it seems to me like Horvath is the one really heavy on the head. There you see Donahue coming back at it.
Neither guy's been very close to scoring an offensive point.
Now is probably the best snap down head under that we've seen, but hips are too high to spin around. Here we go.
1 minute to go in the third. Phillipsburg student section up, trying to encourage their wrestler. Horvath, a sophomore, 11-12. Donahue, a junior for Hunterdon Central, 8-7.
Both referees, I think, are doing a nice job here. They understand the importance of this dual meet. Letting these two guys solve it themselves out here. There really hasn't been any blatant stalling so far. We haven't seen the offense you'd like to see.
Right, there's neither guy's been doing, not enough to get warned. The other guy hasn't been doing enough. There hasn't been somebody getting shots in and forcing the action toward the edge and forcing anybody to back up. So it looks like we're going to go into the 1 minute sudden victory tied at 1 apiece.
A lot of hand fighting that's been happening, and you wonder, oftentimes when that happens and you go into overtime, it's going to be the more well-conditioned athlete or the guy that gets impatient. I think in this matchup, Doug, the guy that shoots is going to lose. The guy that gets anxious, takes a shot, is going to get spun behind on.
Now you wonder, so if you're Horvath for Phillipsburg, you scored first. So if you've got to go to the right out, it'll be your choice. If that's in his mind right now, as far as being conservative, not forcing anything, it's 1-1, 1 minute sudden victory. First points in this period will win the bout. Phillipsburg up 18-14. Each team has won 4 of the eight bouts wrestled.
And that's why you never defer your choice in a 0-0 match or a close match. You take your choice first. You score those first points in the bout.
Under 20 to go.
15 seconds.
Looks like we're going to go to the right out. No change at all, and sudden victory. Still 1-1. They'll flip the disc. It'll come up Horvath first for his choice. So he defers in the right out. Donahue's choice will go underneath, and he was able to explode in that third period and seemed like less than 5 seconds.
This is where you got to win matches like this. But I'll tell you, Donahue, so strong. The core of his body so strong. He's going to be tough to ride for 30 seconds.
He peels and gets out, gets the escape. They'll continue on. It'll be Horvath's choice in the second ride out. He'll need at least an escape to extend it. So Donahue up 2-1. Horvath will go underneath in the second ride out. And this is different. Well, how about this? Maybe a reversal.
Yes.
Nothing yet. Donahue's got to keep those hands locked around that leg. He's still in control. The hold's about to break, but he still dares the reversal. With 5 seconds to go on the ride out. And
He was so determined to ride him out that he put himself in bad position. What a great patience by Horvath to just hang in there right till the end.
He wins it 3-2 in the ride out with the reversal. 21-14 in favor of the Liners through 9 as we go to 285. And Ryan Joyce will be here for Hunterdon Central.
You know, we said the first guy to go for a leg attack. He basically did go for a leg attack from the bottom position. Probably would have been better off just staying behind the hips and cutting him when he got in trouble. Let it go to the next round there.
So Ryan Joyce here for Hunterdon Central. The senior is 16-4. Cody Krutz, the junior for Phillipsburg, is 8-12. Takedown for Joyce to go up 2-0. Joyce 16-14 District 4 a year ago, 32-19 career record. Cody Krutz, a junior at 8-12, 10-12 last year, District 3rd, and 0-7 as a freshman, 18-31 career record. Joyce weighed in pushing the limit at around 265.
He is a big boy.
283, I am sorry. Krutz weighed in at 225.3. And this is where that's going to be a big advantage for Ryan Joyce on the top position. And he's long as well.
And he looks like a fired up Joyce. That's going to be a tall, big task for Krutz here. And he knows the importance of bonus points here.
Bench for Hunterdon Central, encouraging Joyce to cut Krutz free. He will. Imagine he might look for something big here from this position, from this neutral position. Stalling warning already on Krutz.
What did you say the weight differential was here, Doug?
283.9, 225.3.
So almost 50 pounds. No, 60 almost, right?
Yeah.
That's like a 106 pounder wrestling a 170 pounder. That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, nice throw by there.
Tries to lock up a cradle. Let's see if Krutz is able to fight out of it. Thought maybe Joyce might run out of time.
Krutz doing a good job, though, so far. He's basically fighting for the team here, minimizing the amount of points being scored. If he can hold this to a major decision, regular decision, that would be a huge victory for Phillipsburg. Well, the Red Devils, they need bonus points here.
And Krutz was balled up. That's what his strategy is going to be from this bottom position. Joyce can't break him flat to get anything going, but you got to wonder how much longer that'll work before he's not hit for stalling again.
If Joyce keeps this match on in the second period, mostly on his feet, pounds that head, keeps wearing him down, it's going to take its toll in the third period. It's tough to wrestle an opponent for 3 straight periods when they outweigh you by 60 pounds. And we're not just talking about a big guy. He's a very athletic big guy.
Well, Krutz went underneath, and another stalling warning on Krutz, so this will be a point for Joyce, but make it 5-1, or 5-2.
And this is where it gets hairy. He's got 2 stall calls on him. What happens normally is when Joyce starts pressuring, up on their feet again, you're going to probably see Krutz take a half a shot because he doesn't want to get hit for a third call, but he's going to end up giving up easy takedowns.
See if that's a strategy with 1:26 to go in the second period. It's a 7-2 lead, and they're going to go neutral, make it 7-3.
You see Joyce there, just hand fighting, heavy on the head, pulling it down, getting him. He's either going to snap him down or he's going to look for something big up top.
1:02 to go, second period.
So you could tell like the stall call was looking like an option there. Here you might see him make a little attempt here.
Joyce is going to score the takedown. It is the 18th tonight for Hunterdon Central, and a point for Krutz on Joyce.
Well, what happened was Joyce gave him a nice little push out of bounds there. And Krutz ended up falling down to his hip out of bounds. So he got the 1 point escape.
9-4.
And you know, what he's doing is being aggressive, trying to get him to fight back a little bit.
Yeah.
Create that momentum so maybe he can hit that throw for a pin.
Another takedown for Joyce, make it 11-4.
And he really kind of implemented the strategy that we just talked about. We'll see how it plays out in the third. He certainly has worn him down in the second period. But give credit to Krutz. He is fighting.
Lead in favor of Joyce of Hunterdon Central through 2 periods. It'll be his choice. He's going to go underneath.
We'll see what happens here. He's got a tall task. Keeping pressure on top. Keeping that pressure on the hands there.
So with that escape, Joyce up 12-4. So he's got the major right now with a lot of time to work with in this final period.
Points aren't going to be easy to come by. We know that Krutz is a fighter. He's really got to be aggressive and get that third stall call.
Well, with 2 coming so quickly, I mean, the first one came in the first period. The second one early in the second, you would imagine that if Joyce continues to just push it, you're going to see Krutz get hit again.
Krutz did a nice job, though. He was getting pushed to the edge there, and he did a nice job of circling in. Nice little throw by, I know the coaches, the Hunterdon Central coach is out on the mat. He's really upset with that call. I guess you could possibly call fleeing the mat there. But that's the only way to defend getting taken down there is to move forward. So that's a tough call. You're supposed to stay in bounds and let him bring you to the mat?
Would that have been a fleeing the mat in college? No
Yes.
question.
Yes.
There's your answer. There's a stalling warning again. So 2 points for Joyce and make it 2 more points for the takedown.
But it's circumstantial. Just because he's running out of bounds, your back's normally not towards your opponent. Right? It's like the NFL. Why isn't, when they get the ball and they throw it to the ground, why isn't that an income? Why isn't that, what do they call that when a quarterback?
Intentional grounding.
Why isn't that intentional grounding? Isn't that basically what it is?
Yeah.
You're not outside the pocket. So it's situational, these rules.
Well, it's 16-4. Dave Post just noticing that because he didn't realize a stalling warning was hit. But if Joyce was able to get a quick turn here up 12, he could get himself a technical fall.
Oh, he's going to try to run that power half here. He's got 10 seconds. Krutz is fighting hard, looking away, biting down.
16-4. A major decision win for Hunterdon Central and Ryan Joyce. So through 10, it is 21-18. And we go to 106, 4 bouts to go.
You have to imagine that Phillipsburg is so glad that they saved Travis Jones for last bout at this point.
So we go to 106. We've got 4 to go. Brett Unger here for Hunterdon Central. The sophomore is 20-0. And James Day, the freshman for Phillipsburg, is 18-7. So Unger went 41-2 last year for Hunterdon Central his freshman season at this weight class. District and region champ, and he placed 6th in the state tournament. So he comes in with a career record of 61-2. He scores the opening takedown. And James Day, a freshman, 18-7, having a fine season, but wrestling a returning state medalist is going to be a tough task.
Absolutely. And there you see a nice tilt on top there. He's got 3 points held there, and he's going to be up 5-0 already in the first minute. It's a nice treat for the people around the Lehigh Valley and New Jersey area to get to be able to see a good New Jersey matchup like this. Doug, you're going to be this Saturday at the EPC duels, right?
Nazareth and Liberty will wrestle in the championship match at 7 o'clock. We'll have that live Saturday night, and it'll be the second meeting of the season between the two, but the first one in the state. The other one taking place in Virginia. Now, I'd imagine both lineups, because Tyrese Fleming wasn't wrestling in that lineup for Liberty. Nate Stefanik was out for Nazareth. The Blue Eagles tend to bring their guys down late in the year. This could be a little bit different. If Nazareth's ready to drop, this could be a different matchup Saturday night than what fans saw in Virginia.
It's going to be a great match, and it's one that you're not going to want to miss. You also know that Dave Crowell teams every season get better from the beginning to the end, and they tend to peak at the right time. Jody Karam and the Hurricanes are having a phenomenal year, and we knew that they were going to be good. Nobody probably would have guessed that they were that good to knock off a Bethlehem Catholic.
No, I agree. Win over Northampton, too, on their slate. So here is Unger getting a takedown, so he's up 7-1, and now going to get 3 more back points to make it 10-1. His Red Devils team is down 3, 21-18. There's 4 bouts remaining.
He's been a force on top here with those tilts. He's going to go right back to this here, seeing if he can get one more turn here before the end of the period. Day's got his hands full down on bottom. I probably would not pick bottom when you get your choice here.
Yeah. 10-1 after 1 in favor of Unger.
So Unger back on top at the start of the second period here, 10-1. Right back on that wrist on the left side there. He's got a head lever. I'm sure he's doing the math, knowing that 2 more turns on top would give him the tech fall. And here comes the first one. And not sure if he got enough swipes.
Just 2, it looks like. 2 points, 2 back points being held. Hold has not been broken by Unger, so no points awarded just yet. Hold is broken, points awarded, make it 12-1.
Kind of like the way Spencer Lee comes out and wrestles here. You know, he comes out, gets that opening takedown, and goes right for that tilt. Now in college, they only need 4 swipes. They get 4 points. So you get rewarded a little bit more in college for back points. But here we see another tilt here.
3 more awarded.
So 15-1. Next set of points will give him the tech fall, which will give us another lead change in this dual meet. Oh, that was a tough lift. Day kind of came down right on that shoulder.
Well, Day's doing his best. You see there Unger trying to free that right hand. Day was doing his absolute best to not allow that hand to come out, not allow Unger to get it turned. And it looks like we're going to sit at 15-1 after this second period. Day battling to not get turned to final time.
And, you know, he hasn't been hit for stalling. Good for him. That's what he should be doing on bottom. If he has to stall, stall. Don't get turned if you can't.
So 15-1, Day will go top, and then there's the neutral, so the escape makes it 16-1 tech fall in 4 minutes.
Now, you might say at home, why would you do that? Well, he doesn't want to give up risking a reversal, getting taken down to his back and getting pinned, giving up 16 points instead of 5.
So 23-21 in favor of Hunterdon Central. We go to 113. We've got 3 left. So Nick Canonica is here for Hunterdon Central, the freshman 14-6, and Logan Matsko here, the sophomore for Phillipsburg, 18-7. So Matsko went 18-15 district championship last year for Phillipsburg, so he's got more mat experience, 36-22 career record. Now these two met in the Hunterdon Warren Sussex tournament, Matsko beating Canonica 11-6 in that match. Of course, different deal. It's a round in the tournament, and not with 3 bouts remaining, and your team, if you're Matsko, is down 2.
This would be a good time to get another victory here and put them ahead by 1 point going in the last 2 bouts. Doug, you said that you thought that this could be a very tight bout, back and forth, and so far, it really has been.
See now, so Phillipsburg has 21 points. 12 of those are by the 2 forfeits. Let's see if Hunterdon Central, who had that strategy going in, that they wanted to move away from a couple of the big guns, if it doesn't come back to bite them, that they're still able to come back and win this duel. And again, this one, Matsko did have the win earlier in the season. They have Washleski and Inamorado next. Washleski, a sophomore for Hunterdon Central. Inamorado, a freshman for Phillipsburg. And then the Liners have Travis Jones waiting to take on senior Jack Bauer for Hunterdon Central. So it could come down to a winner-take-all in that final bout between Jones and Bauer. Bauer, a 3-time state qualifier. Jones, state 7th last year for the Liners. But still a lot of work to go here. Canonica and Matsko going at it. No score. Opening period. Hunterdon Central, the visitors, up 23-21.
And, you know, you might look at those 12 points that Peeber got off of forfeits. You know as well as I do, there's a pretty good chance Harrison was going to get 6.
Yeah. It was the forfeit to Roth that I think took a little bit by surprise, but you knew the Red Devils had to move somewhere. And when they didn't move at 160, in other words, with 2 guys weighed in, somebody's got to come up. When they didn't move at 160, Formato came out at his weigh-in weight at 170. They had to make a decision somewhere. So Wicks is a big win at 182 for now, and then they forfeit to Austin Roth. But a lot of wrestling left in this one, with Hunterdon Central holding on to a 2-point lead, and this is 0-0 after 1. These two teams in separate groups, separate sectionals, so do not meet in the postseason. Hunterdon Central coming up a little short last year, having a tremendous season, but getting beat. Didn't even win a sectional title a year ago. They have won one Group 4 state championship in their history. It came in '89. They've won Central Jersey Group 5 championships in 15 and 17. And they've won 21 sectional titles. Now, they went 21-2 a year ago, but did not win a sectional championship. Meanwhile, Phillipsburg's won 5 group state titles in a row. So if you're Hunterdon Central, even if there's no divisional, no sectional, no anything going on, this is a team that you want to beat.
Yeah, and it also tells you that they got some pretty tough competitors over in their section that they have to compete with. But for Phillipsburg to win 5 in a row, that's awfully impressive. Both great programs, and you could tell Hunterdon's wrestling with a little bit of an edge tonight. You could tell they're coming after this, but right there you see Phillipsburg with the first points on the board here with a 2-point reversal for Masco.
See if he can maintain control. His liner team is down 2. Hunterdon Central has won 6 of the first 11.
I've been impressed with both teams tonight. When you watch, every wrestler that has come out for both teams know how to wrestle. And, you know, we always talk about Pennsylvania being one of the toughest states in the country for wrestling. It's pretty much known that that's one of the tops. New Jersey's right up there. They're always one of the top 5 teams, toughest states for wrestling in the country. And how well these wrestled tonight, and they're 5th and 7th in the state. So you can tell the quality of competition here is good. And Rutgers University has really built their program up on getting a lot of New Jersey kids here, some picking out some of the best from this state.
Matsko's reversal's the difference so far. He's maintaining control, has 8.3 seconds left in this period to take that 2-0 lead into the third. Hunterdon Central with a match against Voorhees next week, and Paulsboro, a perennial state power out of South Jersey, coming up on January 31st. That's what's left for the Red Devils. So Matsko, a 2-0 lead into the third.
Is that a home or away match, the Paulsboro match? I think it's at Paulsboro.
That's at Paulsboro. Now, Phillipsburg, meanwhile, yes, they have Easton next Wednesday here, a match we will have on Service Electric TV2 Sports, but they have a match this weekend against Southern Regional on the road on Saturday, another tough school in New Jersey, and Ocean Township at the end, or in the beginning of February. It's nice about the way New Jersey works with the dual meet season is these schools really go out and get after some of the best competition. They're not locked in necessarily. They don't wrestle as many tournaments, I can tell you that. Now, Phillipsburg got into the Hurricane, but that dual meet regular season just seems to be a lot more competitive than we're seeing in the state of Pennsylvania. 2-0 lead for Matsko, maintaining that control, minute 35 to go. Big spot for the Liners. They're down 2, and there's only 3 bouts remaining, including this one.
And yeah, you're right. That's a shame that we don't see Phillipsburg more often wrestling more Lehigh Valley schools. But even schools like North Hunterdon, Hunterdon Central, be great to see a little bit more of that coming into the Lehigh Valley for some good dual meets. Because we talked about that, you know, the atmosphere for dual meets in District 11. Bringing in some local fresh teams from New Jersey, maybe even New York, I think would really, it's close enough that they're going to bring their fan base with them when they come.
Phillipsburg had a kind of long-running rivalry going on with Northampton that went quiet and then got going again a few years ago. Parkland came in and wrestled Phillipsburg with just the pure goal of experiencing what it's like to wrestle in the pit, which is probably the hardest environment anybody as a visitor is ever going to experience, even going out and wrestling in the state duels. So let's see what happens here. Mats goes up 2-0. A stalling warning now on top. In that final period, the Liners are down 2.
And how impressive is this, Doug? You're talking about a sophomore here, probably has ridden on top here for well over 3 minutes in this match. You don't normally see matches like this in the lower weights, but to have that kind of composure and to do a good job of riding, I believe that was his first stall call. He's going to...
A caution on...
That was on
Canonica.
Yes.
So that's a point for Matsko. So that's a nice cushion now of 3. 3-1 the escape.
Well, this is interesting now. It's 3-1 here.
The point to Matsko. That was a headbutt if they called that on Canonica or not.
A head slap or So 4-1 there. That's a huge, that's the difference now between a takedown that sends it to overtime.
They'll restart with 14.3 to go in the third.
Little throw, upper body on the side there, and you could see Coach telling him, you don't need to do that.
Mats goes up 4-1. They'll secure it, 4-1. Another win for Phillipsburg. They go back in front 24-23, and we're even at 6 bouts apiece with 2 to go. To 120.
Doug, do you know where Paulsboro ranks in the state right now?
I think they're second behind Bergen Catholic.
That's going to be a big matchup.
So we go to 120. Colton Washleski is here for Hunterdon Central. He's a sophomore, 18-4. Joe Innamorato is here for Phillipsburg, a freshman, 7-12. Washleski, 27-15, a state qualifier a year ago. How about this? Innamorato scores the opening takedown.
Yeah, and it was a nice one. Really good leg attack there. He's actually looked like he almost had him in trouble for back points, but that was more Washleski doing a sit-out turn in there, trying to get out from bottom.
So Washleski was 27-15 for the Devils last year, District 2nd, Region 4, qualifying for the state tournament. 45-19 career record, including an 18-4 mark this year as he gains the escape. And again, Innamorato is a freshman for Phillipsburg, comes into tonight with a record of 7-12. Liners up a point, 24-23. And there is 1 bout remaining after this one, 126.
Well, that would be a huge win for Peeberg here. On paper, you would certainly have to say that Washleski is a favorite here, but it was Innamorato with the opening takedown. Nice shot there by Washleski. Good defense there on those shots. Very good fundamental wrestling tonight. What we haven't seen a lot of is a lot of scrambles and attacking the ankles. A lot of good fundamentals here. Great sprawls, getting guys off your legs.
So Phillipsburg elected to save Travis Jones for the final bout at 126. And that looks to be huge right now. Of course, you don't know what would have been different had he started at 132.
Well, Innamorato, another shot, Doug. And if he could pop that, post that leg off and come over and hook it, he'll get a takedown here. But I think both guys were kind of on the edge of the mat there, out of bounds, and referee stopped it.
strength of that takedown. Leads 2-1. So Travis Jones and Jack Bauer are the final bout at 126.
Boy, Inamorado almost found himself in trouble there. We got a 2-point reversal here by Wasilewski now, who's kind of turning it around a little bit here. He's got the arm, he's got Inamorado in trouble here. He's got the arm up on the back. Oh, he's going to roll through with this. Nice job by Inamorado, continuing to roll through. He's trying to pull him into the pocket there, but Inamorado doing a nice job of staying parallel and rolling through. There you see, caught him.
Yep, did it again.
Once he rolls through, he's got to get perpendicular, and there he did.
Well, he's got this tight now.
Inamorado's got to watch himself that he doesn't get pinned here.
There it is. Oh, man, how about that?
Wow.
3:25, the time of the fall. Wow, that is huge. That makes it 29-24. And now, with the final bout to go, you got to turn to Travis Jones.
This is a big task.
He's got to get a tech fall. That's what he's got. He's got to tie it.
Against a guy that has more career wins than he does.
That's correct. So Jack Bauer is out here for Hunterdon Central. Bauer is a senior, 16-4. Travis Jones is senior for Phillipsburg, 19-3. So Jones was state 7th a year ago, 42-6. District 1, Region 1, state 7. 28-10 as a sophomore. District champ, Region 4, qualified for the state tournament and went just 2-3 as a freshman. So he's got a 91-22 career record. Bauer, meanwhile, 16-4, 27-9 last year. He is a 3-time district champ, a 3-time region runner-up, and a 3-time state qualifier, going 27-9, 30-10, and 30-10. His career record 103-33. So not just a simple winner-take-all in the final one. That win and that pin by Wasilewski is huge.
Well, instead of going out here and just wrestling to get yourself a win, now you got to wrestle for your team and try to get a tech fall or a pin to win this dual meet. And just coming out here and getting a victory is going to be a task enough. But this is a great matchup for fans at home to watch. So Jones and Bauer here just kind of not really even hand fighting, just kind of tying each other up here, trying to establish control on their feet.
Well, Jones placing second at the King of the Mountain, where he earned one of his losses. Finished second at the Hurricane Classic, where he also earned one of his losses, and second at the Hunterdon Warren Sussex Tournament. And Jones has not lost in a dual meet, 0-0 after one. Hasn't lost in a dual meet yet this year, but a little bit different than coming out and seeing your team just down by 2 points and all you got to do is win. Now, again, it's a 5-point deficit that he needs just to tie it, and the 2 forfeits would give Phillipsburg the advantage on more 6-point victories.
So it's 1-0, Doug. where Bauer elected to just, instead of trying to ride Jones out on top, he just elected to just go neutral.
I don't think the strategy changes at all if you're Jack Bauer. You're going out to win. You're not thinking about, all right, I mean, it's a technical fall, so you're not thinking about being conservative. I imagine his approach is to go out like it's a 0-0 duel meet.
You have to wrestle for yourself in this match right here and get the win, because it's not going to be an easy win for either wrestler. You see Bauer here on a beautiful leg attack. You've got Jones draped over the back here pretty tight. And this is where, Jones can scramble in these situations. You got Bauer trying to circle left here. Jones draping over the top here. Now he's got that's pulling that ankle in tight here, and that's where he could really start making things difficult for Bauer underneath there. Referees left it go for an adequate amount of time. Back up on their feet, neutral. Good call. Nice snap down attempt there by Bauer. That's where Bauer, I think, can maybe do some. You could tell that Jones really lunges into him pretty far. He's a little bit off balance, and but he does a nice job of burying his head. But if he can get to some of those, Bauer can get to some of those snap downs, he might be able to look for an opportunity. But you know as well as I do, Jones is like a leech. It's not going to be easy to get around him.
So Jones with a 1-0 lead going into the third.
Chooses neutral.
Yep. Bauer doesn't want to go underneath.
And he doesn't want to wrestle him on top either, giving up a risk for reversal. So nice leg attack again here, but Jones awfully good in this counter offense here. Bauer in good position. If he can get his head high and come out the back door, he might have a shot here, but boy, Jones is just tough. He gives you nothing in there.
That takedown makes it 3-0 in favor of Phillipsburg senior Travis Jones. His team down 29-24. This is the final bout, 132 pounds, 126, I'm sorry. Jones weighing in down a weight for that added flexibility for the liners. The difference right now is that final fall by Colton Washleski at 120. That's been the difference. It's given this team, Hunterdon Central, the 5-point lead.
Well, Jones, and he's in pretty good position right here, 3-0. This is where he can be aggressive on top and try to get that fall for the team. Bauer, though, he's got 55 seconds left. I'd burn 3 stall calls if I had to make sure I don't get pinned. Fans could complain about it all they want, but I told my wrestlers all the time, you have the right to stall. It's your choice.
Yep.
How many guys have you seen in the state finals with 30 seconds left stall like crazy? And that's what their coaches tell them to do. You've got to find a way to score.
There's a stalling warning, number 1 on Bauer.
You think that the Hunterdon Central coaches are disappointed with his wrestler? They're not yelling at him to move. Boy, he's got such great leverage, but Bauer's just staying low to the ground and wrestling smart here.
Jones up 3. Another stalling warning. It's going to be a point, make it a 4-1 lead, 4-0 lead. And Jones is going to win. Regular decision, 4-0 victory. That's not going to get it done. And Phillipsburg will lose their first dual meet of the season. 29-27 is the final. Each team won 7 bouts in a real good dual meet here at Phillipsburg High School. Disappointing for Travis Jones and his teammates, but they will move on. We will step aside and come back and wrap things up from Phillipsburg.
Safety. Think Chef Niski Electric.
Welcome back to Phillipsburg High School. There is your final score. Hunterdon Central winning this one 29-27.